We saw, HDFC Life coming out with its earnings yesterday. They are inching towards 30% VNB margins. At currently at 27.2%, and you're sub 10%. In fact, your margins have fallen from 9.9% at the end of March to 9.3% in September. Where are we going to see the VNB margin, and what is the kind of levers that you have to push that margin up beyond 10%?
Right. So, I mean, if you look at, I don't want to name any company, but if you look at the listing of private peers, whenever that happened, and if you compare that with what we are doing at this point of time, would make better sense, because then after the listing, a lot of things have happened, and that will happen here too. And therefore, we will be able to grow that. Ashok will be able to explain.
Yeah, actually, what you say is true. But when we look at the other players when they listed, they were also in the same range where we are now. So and if we look at our margins on non-par products, they are quite high at around 80, more than 80%. So with a focus on a strategy to focus on non-par products, so we expect that the VNB margins to move.
Sir, you spoke about the embedded value, and you said that the economic variance for LIC is different from what it is for private players. What is the kind of impact that can have on your embedded value going forward? Because you have a much bigger history, so the variance would be also much higher in when you calculate the embedded value. So if you can give us a perspective on the variance and what are the factors which are.
Yeah, actually, what happens is this: the major component of this economic variance is the mark-to-market gains. LIC has a very big equity portfolio. Total equity portfolio size is around 25% of our book size, and we have quite a good number of stocks in there. Most are blue chip, and there has been a good movement in the stocks over the period, and that was not taken credit for in the regular valuation, because regular valuation we cannot take credit for that. So in the IEV we can take credit for that. So that is one of the reasons why the movement appears to be quite big.
So the market variation would have a major impact on the IEV if tomorrow, means for the Q4, if the market has corrected significantly. That means that your IEV would come down at the end of Q4.
No, actually, it has some impact because if you look at the filing with the DRHP, where we have given the elements with the actuary who performed these calculations. The sensitivity of the IEV to various parameters is listed there. Yes, it is true that the IEV is sensitive to the equity changes.
But let me add to what Ashok said, that one-off kind of thing that happened, if you remember April 2020, the COVID and the kind of markets crashing. So we survived that as well, right? And we have a long history and legacy of, and basically all of you know that we buy and hold. We are not very much on churning. So that being the case, unless there's a one-off event that happened like that, there's not going to be a major impact.